you all for joining us this early morning, especially after many of you came here just last night or have been active all day yesterday with us. First, I want to acknowledge that we are gathered on Treaty 1 territory and that the museum is located on the ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, Ininiquak, Dakota Ayot, and Dennis Sulimian, and the birthplace and homeland of the Red River Métis. So, we have an amazing group today with us on our panel. But first, I wanted to speak a little bit about my experience because I've also been where they all are today as a participant at the first Youth Nuclear Peace Summit in 2019. And it was a very pivotal moment for me and probably one of the most important events in my life because it got me to be where I exactly am right now. And it let me attend the first, second, and third meeting of state parties for the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, the ICANN Youth G7 Summit in Hiroshima, the Ottawa Youth Parliament Nuclear Peace Summits. There were two of them, and I was able to help organize them alongside Senator Mary Lou McPhedran. And then it's also allowed me to join incredible organizations such as the Canadian Voice of Women for Peace, the International Physicians for the Prevention of Nuclear War Canada, Reverse the Trend. It's allowed me to join Senator Mary Lou McPhedran's Youth Advisory Council, and it's allowed me to become one of the 100 youth for the United Nations Youth Leader Fund for a World Without Nuclear Weapons. So this summit forged me on that path, and it's been an incredible experience since, and it gave me the background knowledge that I needed to do all of that work. More than that, it taught me how intersectional this issue is with Indigenous rights, climate change, gender perspectives. It's given me so much holistic perspective, especially when I connect it to other events I was attending at that time, such as the Ethics Bowl. And it's allowed me to think critically, which is so important right now, given our world situation today. And it's something that I really hope all of you take away from this summit as well, because it has so many opportunities with everybody present today, from our speakers, from all of the organizations present, and even from your peers, allowing to connect with youth from other high schools and universities where you could be in the future. It's such an amazing experience, and I really hope that with our variety of activities, presentations, and engagement both during the summit and after the summit, you can use that experience to either become activists within the same field or become researchers, or just allow it to give you a new set of knowledge that can help carry you forwards down whatever career path you choose. So with that, I want to hand it over to our youth presenters today. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to have you each introduce yourself, just your name and where you're from, and then we'll get to our questions. So we'll start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Rulin Zhang. I am a grade 11 student from Niverville High School, which is just a small town located outside of Winnipeg.
Good morning, I'm Dr. Catherine Kristolovich. I'm a high school teacher at Grant Park High School with the Winnipeg School Division.
Good morning, I'm Mateo Bouchereau. I'm a grade 12 student at Lincoln High School in Portland, Oregon. It's in the Pacific Northwest.
Hello everyone, I'm Hideo Yodoya from Kansai Soka High School in Japan. And I was born in Hiroshima, so I've learned about nuclear weapons or peace from a young age. Yeah, that's it.
Amazing, thank you. So now we'll go through our questions. And I'm going to ask our three youth questions first, and then I'll get to you, Catherine. So, Rulin, second, how is disarming the world of nuclear weapons linked to human rights? Why is meeting in person at CMHR important to you, and what will you do after the summit?
So I'm going to go ahead and answer your third question. So during the summit, me and my group of students from high school, our student action group, we presented our art project. And our art project is something, our mural right over there, and it's something we hope to display here at the Canadian Museum of Human Rights. So we hope to continue to finish it and share it with others to show them the importance of nuclear disarmament and how when we come together, we can work towards a common goal. We also hope to continue to share nuclear disarmament and the importance with our student action group for years to come, and bring more students to the summit. We had lots of students interested this year, which is awesome. And to our school and to our community, we want them to understand why we want to disarm nuclear weapons and why.
Yeah, thank you so much. We did an art project too when I attended the summit in 2019, banners. And since then, we've continued to do art projects, and we've taken them to Ottawa, to New York for the meetings of state parties for the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. And they always really make an impactful impact, more so than a lot of speeches can do sometimes, because you get to see the impact that this has on people that you wouldn't be able to see otherwise. So thank you. Now we'll move on to Mateo. So the same questions. How is disarming the world of nuclear weapons linked to human rights? Why is meeting in person at CMHR important to you? And what will you do after the summit?
I'll go ahead and answer your first question. I mean, nuclear disarmament is deeply linked to human rights, because I mean, rights like the right to life, the right to health, the right to a healthy environment, the right to development and self-determination. Those, just to name a few, are put in immediate jeopardy by the simple existence of any nuclear weapon. And so I believe it is a cause which all of humanity should be rallied behind, because so long as leaders like Donald Trump and Xi Jinping, Putin, Kim Jong-un, so long as those people have the right to choose whether or not we live, I don't think there can be peace. And so I think it is a question of human rights. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, thank you. Next we'll move on to Deo. So the same questions one last time. How is disarming the world of nuclear weapons linked to human rights? Why is meeting in person at CMHR important to you? Or what will you do after the summit?
Can I ask 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Okay. First, question 1. I think in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, nuclear weapons not only destroyed the cities, but also they destroyed the people's right to live or to love. So disarming the world means protecting human rights. Yeah, and it's not about politics. It's about humanity itself. Yeah, that's it. Then question 2.
Yeah. Why is meeting in person at CMHR important to you?
Meeting face to face allowed me to make real friends, who is so great. And and it's not achieved by virtual. And making friends around the world allows me to, if I got friends, I don't want to hate them and hurt them. So if this feeling spread toward the world, this is the first step to making a peaceful world. I think, that's it.
Yeah, thank you. And it fits in so well with what we've been seeing over the last day at the summit and seen in previous years, is the network that all of you create, whether you get each other's Instagram or phone numbers after the summit and connect later on, either just to keep the discussion going or to plan future action items afterwards. It's amazing to see you all get to know each other despite being from different countries and different cities. We have 187 people registered at this event, with 14 different high schools from 7 different cities and 3 different countries, which is incredible for so many reasons. And it's really been amazing to get to know all of you as well through this press conference and yesterday as well. And now we have our teacher, Dr. Catherine. So I have 3 questions for you as well. You can choose to answer 1 or all 3. So what are the conversations like in the classroom regarding nuclear disarmament? How do you support students with this challenging topic? And what are some highlights, hopes, and accomplishments?
Thank you. The discussion of topics like this are incredibly important in the classroom. Whether or not they're happening in every classroom is a really important challenge for educators. one of the ways we support students, again, is by dialogue, right? The ability to engage in critical dialogues where we're thinking deeply, and we're doing research that's really sound. Again, we're looking at critical capacities, we're trying to make sure we have opportunities to not only learn, but to present our information, and again, get the opportunity to meet one another and work with others. This is such a key component. So opportunities like this are really essential to student learning, and as a way to apply it in terms of democracy, right? A real chance to explore this as they would in their everyday life. For that reason, I think this is something that, you know, we really want to continue and encourage generationally. A topic like this, as we talked about yesterday, is not something that's necessarily explored by all students and educators as well, and so that's why we're here. And so it's such an amazing opportunity. My hope is that, again, these kinds of discussions are not simply happening in a social studies classroom, that they actually expand into other areas and contents as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we wouldn't be able to have 5 summits without the incredible teachers who either drove their students here early in the morning and drove them back at night, or who flew across the ocean or across the country to attend this summit with their students, and who engaged with this opportunity and put it out there to them, and who accepted it and had those difficult conversations with them as well, and helped put together those presentations that made our summit so amazing yesterday. So I want to give a huge thanks to all of the teachers as well in our audience, as well as you, Dr. Catherine. So with that, we also have probably time for questions too, if our presenters are up for that, as well as if anybody in our audience has any, because I think we are running a little ahead of schedule. Yeah, Estelle.
I'm wondering, what would you recommend as our next step to expand the Youth Nuclear Summit? And it's to anybody here. Well, maybe to the student from Japan. What would you recommend? Because I even know some in the audience have an answer. Go ahead.
I'm already so appreciate to give us such great interactions and this great opportunity. But if I give an example, okay, let me see.
I can expand on that question. What should we focus on the next, besides obviously it's always going to be nuclear peace, but what should we focus on to try to attract more teachers and more students to come to the summit? What should be our themes? What should we focus on?
Yeah, that's a difficult question, but I think, yeah, I've already said that one, but I think spreading friendship can make them to more interactive and proactive. So who came this summit should spread the friendship and tell them the facts, and yeah, you guys should invite here. So yeah, I think, yeah, kind of that. I don't know, this is the answer. What?
That's a perfect answer.
Yeah, thank you.
What are you most excited about day 2 of the summit?
Well, I believe I learned so much yesterday. This is my second year at the summit, and the first year was kind of introductory to this entire cause, and then this on day 1 I just learned so much and was so moved by lots of the speeches, especially the speech at the beginning that the doctor gave on like what would happen within the first few minutes of a nuclear blast. I mean, it was terrifying. And so I think there's I think sending, I mean, back to the question earlier, I think sending guest speakers like that to to like schools and like spreading that kind of, because it's scary. I think people should be scared of nuclear weapons, and I think, and I learned to kind of fear that on day one, I guess, and I think that's kind of a good thing, because day two, I'm excited to learn more, kind of like I did yesterday, and also there's just being here gives me a lot of hope, seeing lots of like-minded people who are also kind of scared about this and ready to get engaged about this cause and make it so that people don't have to be scared. Yeah, so that's what I'm excited for day two.
For me, I'm really excited to continue to see presentations. I know there's a lot more upcoming ones. Like I said yesterday, all the presentations were amazing. They came from such passionate people who put so much time and effort into researching this topic. And to like put your mind at work like that is amazing. And to continue to see that drive and that passion in young students is so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Ira Helfan.
I was just wondering what ideas you all have about how to reach out to the students at your schools when you get home and educate them about the stuff that you've learned here.
I have an answer for that one. Thank you for the question. I think to reach out to our students, it would be great to have other presenters. I think presenting with passion is a very good way to get more people involved and engaged and get them to care, because when you speak from the heart, people truly see that it matters to you and that you care, and I think that builds some kind of a connection, and they're like, oh, maybe you care, I should care too, let's look into that together. And to encourage your friends and your classmates to come to summits like these, which provoke thought and initiative, I think is something that would encourage students a lot.
Yeah, at least locally in Portland, I know there are a lot of, I believe there's one or two Hiroshima survivors in Oregon, and they're always happy, I hear, to go to schools and do presentations, and so I think that would be a very moving guest speaker to have come to Lincoln. And also, I mean, in the 1980s, there were, I know there were mass movements for nuclear disarmament, and that's how we got down from the number of like 60,000 nuclear weapons to 12,000, and so I think that installing clubs like Students for Nuclear Disarmament in various schools can help engage students into mass movements for change. Yeah.
Another question for the teacher. What would you say to other teachers who maybe are thinking about getting involved, but they're not sure? What would you say to them?
Thank you. I would encourage them to reach out. You know, the amount of collaborations involved in programs like this are incredible. There's really a place for every age and grade at school. Again, as the panel articulately stated, it's a topic that's so near and dear to them, and if teachers simply want to reach out to many of the organizers, we will be more than welcoming. It means more opportunities, more voices, and that's exactly what we want.
Good morning. Several of you have talked about what you've learned, and in the context of where you go, and you're referencing to the intersectionality, Sarah, I'm wondering how you could think about approaching, or if you have already done, the folks who are actively concerned about climate change, and the folks who are actively concerned about conflict, the people who see many parallel concerns, but maybe haven't focused on the nuclear question. How might you, or how have you reached out to those folks?
Well, at least at my school, the members, like the head members of our like Students for Nuclear Peace like club, have also joined a branch of the the Lincoln Environmental Justice Club, where we work in collaboration with them, and we're trying to get them to start presenting about nuclear weapons and stuff. There's also another club which is slightly connected called PCEF, which helps fund different like campaigns that our like environment focused clubs do, and we're also working with them just to try and create like some sort of connection. I think we can do that similarly on like a local scale. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, in Japan, there are so few education which tell them that about the Hiroshima and Nagasaki sincerely. It's like just telling the history or the numbers. So we need to improve our education, especially Japan. And I think education can spread the things about the nuclear weapons. Yeah, that's it.
I think the current nuclear state of the world is something that impacts all of us in a way that sometimes we can't see. So to open other people's eyes to the situation, for example, we spend globally, someone said in their presentation yesterday, $100 billion on maintaining nuclear weapons. It takes $40 billion to end world hunger, to put that into perspective. So that money can be directed elsewhere. It could be directed into disarming the weapons. It could be directed towards climate change, to ending world hunger, to schools, hospitals, so many other things. So when you kind of open your eyes to the things that it's affecting, I think that'll get people thinking, oh, my area of concern can be impacted if we disarm nuclear weapons.
I guess if I can speak as a teacher, I think it really is again about collaborating, cross-curricular, looking at, working with fellow educators to see again that intersectionality between, again, social justice, human rights, the environment. Schools have the perfect environment. We have keen, intelligent young learners who are excited and passionate about this topic. And, it simply means taking time to listen to students and their voices and their concerns and, giving them the opportunity to research because it's moving really quickly. And I think that's the thing that really comes through in this conference is, this is not only such an immediate problem, but it's moving so quickly. I woke up today and on the front page of the New York Times, Donald Trump is encouraging testing, nuclear testing, and made an announcement on his way to China. And so again, this is such a current issue. It needs our attention, and we are so fortunate as educators to have such young, passionate voices. We just need to listen.
Yeah, thank you.
So I have a question. You guys all talk about friendship and everything. Back in high school, I went back with this excitement after the conferences and talked with people. Hey, I think this is something that I learned. But what they responded me is like nuclear deterrence is actually working. This is something that we needed. So how are you going to maintain the friendship among navigating through these difficult conversation with other friends in your community?
I think if you outline how nuclear, like how one nuclear bomb can impact like communities at different levels, you can kind of get people more on your side about it. Also, I think if you talk about how like the continued production of any sort of weapon normalizes it to a point where it will be used during wartime. I mean, we saw that with the move to war in Europe during, like, right before World War I. The post-industrial revolution, there was a mass production of lots of new technology like dreadnoughts, with the machine gun and stuff like that. And so that was one of the contributions to the climate which brought about the crisis and brought about World War I. So I think that if I think you can use history to back up the fact that if you produce a weapon in mass, it will create a militarized environment. Yeah.
I think it's important also to understand that discussions like these, they're incredibly important and by their very nature become dissonant. They're not easy conversations to have, and that's sort of the purpose of them. Sometimes maybe friendship doesn't appear suddenly because it's, you can have conflictual discussions, but I think that's again where, under the realm of education, it's not simply a discussion of beliefs, it's beliefs that are grounded in facts and information and data and history. And these are exactly the opportunities for us where when we talk about that idea of intersectionality, we're talking really about that idea of looking collectively at research and encouraging people to look and ask questions, think critically, and it's definitely difficult, but I do think that, as we've discussed over the last couple of days, it's the silence of these kinds of topics that's much more concerning.
I was going to speak from experience and say, after I come back from the summit, I'll tell my friends, oh, I learned about this and it was so cool and it impacts all of us, and my friends will be like, yeah, I don't really care. I have too much to worry about, too many things going on. I can't worry about another thing. And so it's like, oh, okay. But I feel like as the topic keeps on coming up in conversation and amongst young people, people become more aware of it and more, oh, I've heard about this a couple times now. Like maybe it's something I should start caring about. And relationships, like friendships are always a kind of relationship, right? We constantly have to be working on them. We have to spend time on them. It's not just like a one-time and one and done thing, right? It takes time and action, and it's kind of a long-term thing, not just really quick.
I wanted to add to that question, and then we'll have to wrap up so that we can all head down to the summit. And I think that awareness piece is so important because every time I've talked about it with classmates of mine in high school or in university, they've mostly been surprised. A lot of people don't know how many nuclear weapons there still are on the earth today. And they also don't know about the intersectional impacts that it has and what it could do for climate change, how it could exacerbate everything that we are already terrified of. And when you talk about that and also the experience of Hibakusha and those who survived nuclear testing, I think bringing it down to that humanitarian level and the human impact it could have on us and our friends, our family, everything we care about, you have to be aware of that. And I think that can help to change people's perspective in a way that they might not have known before. So I think that awareness can do a lot, and I know it's done a lot for me and for everybody here, and for me those friendships have lasted. The people I did the first Youth Nuclear Peace Summit with, Avinash Paul Singh over there, and Roj Ali, the three of us have been in most of the same organizations together. We've traveled the world together. We've continued to be a part of this summit together, and it's really amazing to have those friendships continue. And when you make people aware of those things, it can change their perspectives, and it can also create those lifelong bonds that many of you, I hope, will take out of this summit as well. And with that, we will wrap up our conference this morning. Thank you all for joining us on this very early Friday morning, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.